What is going on, everybody? My name is Michael Levan. Thank you so much for joining me today. And what we're going to talk about is static typing in Go. So, if you haven't heard of static typing, essentially what it means is you know what the type is at compile time versus at runtime. Now, when I say type, I mean strings, ints, bools. That's a type. And then you can also create your own types, which we're definitely going to take a look at in this video as well. But the idea here is that let's say you are printing out or you're compiling some application that maybe says something about cars. So you have, the make, the model, the year, which one it is, like if it's, number one in stock, number two in stock, something like that. The thing is that let's say, you take a car type and it's supposed to be a string, but you add an int in, well, that's obviously an issue because, the code may compile, but once you actually try to run the application or do anything with the application, it's going to be like, well, I'm expecting a string here. I'm expecting Ford or BMW or Audi or something like that. I'm not expecting, one or two or three. So statically typed languages allow you to catch those bugs right in the beginning, like right even before compile time, before the code even runs. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a look at what it looks like if you specify a type, and then when you create your own type. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So I have my code here, and what I've done was I just, created a simple package main import with an FMT so we can print, and then just a standard main function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to specify a variable. I'm going to do var, and I'm going to do var type, and I'm going to say that it's a string. So it's a string type. And then I'm going to equal Ford. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fmt println, and I'm going to print out that car type. I'm going to do go run main.go. And as we can see here, it's going to print out Ford, obviously, because that's what the variable contains. The value is Ford. Now, what happens if I try to change this to 1, for example? Well, when I run this, you're going to see that you cannot use a type int because I defined a string. That's what the assignment is. The assignment is a string. So let's say that you didn't want to do this and you wanted to just do, for example, a shorthand here, and we could do this. Now, this actually works. So we print this out and we can see that it's going to print out 1. But see, the problem here is that you want a string. So from a quality code perspective, you want to have the ability to statically type. You want to have the ability to say, no, this is supposed to be a string. If it's not a string, I want it to fail at compile time. Or even, before you get to compile time, like before you run, you want it to fail automatically. And that's what, the garbage collection is Go is very good. Like as we've seen with the unused variables or the unused values video, that if you type a variable and you don't use it, Go's not even going to compile and it's going to yell at you. So with that, what we can do is we can also create our own types to really get down and specify exactly what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right up here, right under the import. I'm going to type in type. So now I can specify what type I want. So let's say I want car, and I'm going to turn this into a struct. And what a struct allows us to do is it allows us to create fields. So you can have like, name, string, age, and stuff like that. So go ahead and I'm going to put the brackets here, and I'm going to type in type string, and then I'm going to say year string, and then I'm going to type in maybe stock, and I'll say int here. So let's say you had like a stock and you had like, 50 in or something like that. So what we can do is move my terminal down here, go back to main. And from here, I can actually start to specify this type. So I can say cars equal car, okay? And now I can specify my type. Now I'm actually having an issue here, unexpected type, expecting field name or embedded type. So what that means is type is a keyword, so we can't use type. So instead we'll say model, okay? And then we'll be able to specify that. Now we're gonna get another error here. And the reason why we're getting that error is not because there's something wrong with the struct, but because cars is declared but not used. But look at that value that pops up when I hover over. So I'll do that again. I'll hover over here. And we can see here that it's specifying that it is a type that I'm trying to initialize. So you have type, you have model, year, stock. So what we can do here now is we can say cars dot, and now we have some typecasting here. So we have some like IntelliSense where it's going to let us know, okay, model, stock, year. So I'm going to say model equals Ford. Okay, what I can do is I can start to get a little bit granular with how I'm going to be working with different functions. So I'm going to create a new function here, and I'm going to name it my cars. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this function a type, what it should be returning, what I should be using here. So I'm going to use a pointer, which is going to point directly to my values, and then I'm going to say car, right? And then I could save that here, and we could see that we have a little error here, but it's specific. It's saying that I'm missing a return at the end of the function. And the reason why is because I'm specifying a type here, and it's expecting a return. So what I'm going to do is I take this, I'm going to put this code right here, and then I'm going to say my cars here. That way I'm able to actually run that function here. So we want to run this my cars function. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put a return here. Oop, actually, I'm going to take that return out. I'm going to put it at the bottom. I'm just going to return nil for now. And then now what I can do is I can go FMT println cars model. Now the reason why I can do this is because remember, I've now specified the property, if you will, or the attribute of cars.model, and what it equals is Ford. So if I print out cars.model, it's going to print out Ford for us. And that's how you can do static typing in Go, both specifying it from a variable perspective and any values that are being passed in, and even creating your own types. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you again next time.